Why do we find satisfaction in worldly pleasures if this is a supreme end and it's the truth? Then why are things pleasurable along the way? Like, why does it feel good to go to a long concert? When, like, if you think about it in the spiritual sense, like, there are other things I could be doing. Why does that feel so compelling, I guess?
It's the essence of what the Stillpoint is all about, that pleasure, that joy in another form. It's not in a material form. It's not in a pleasurable form. Listening to a concert, for example, with your ears and really enjoying it, watching Lana and her beauty and her movements and your eyes and saying, and gathering this through your senses.
Ooh, I get it.
Go on, you talk it out.
Say, the Stillpoint we're talking about isn't sensual.
Correct. There's no sensory base to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you've chosen to incarnate in a body, you're operating through those senses. And so, what you call pleasure is an ultimate contentment.
Listen to this. The natural state is a state of complete stillness and satisfaction. The senses dwell in the senses. What does that mean? They are quiet within themselves. The hands are quiet within themselves. The mind is satisfied within itself. Everything is completely serene and free of action. That is the greatest worship, for the mind to observe silence in the true Japanese.
In other words, the senses are part of infinite creation. And the local senses exist within those cosmic avenues.
Okay, and isn't kind of the goal of this to transcend the human condition? And the senses are tied to that, so
And like,
it's consistent.
so that's just like back to, we're here to go through this stuff to get back to that, like the still point.
If you wish.
Yeah. But
If you don't, what do you do?
Yeah.
So
You just continue to repeat the entertainment and the dying of excess and the returning.
like, why do we have to go through a life of pleasure and pain and humanness to appreciate
What we left.
What we
yeah,
had.
why?
What we left.
The
Is it
play
enough?
of consciousness.
Chit Vilasananda.
Because we do.
Because you can. Because you can. Did you ever have an idea that you suffered from that you decided to change at a certain point and you were able to actually change it and give it up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, I'll tell you what Suzuki says, the famous Zen master, in his book called Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind.
Mm-hmm.
He says to his disciples, listen, why don't you become enlightened before you become enlightened?
Oh my God. It says in I've Become Alive, it says something like, the world does not exist for you to experience jealousy, for you to experience fear. Look at this beautiful creation. How could that be the purpose of it? You know, like, even though it's what we go through, that's not all that it is. And so thinking about it in terms of the play of consciousness, it's just because we are, and it doesn't matter as much as we feel like it does right now. We're just playing. And it feels like suffering, but there really is no such thing, because it's truly a world of non-duality. We're just existing in a plane of it where we have to go through it.
We create all of these things. Play of consciousness is an interesting statement. They call it play, and this is the farthest that they've been able to get with it, is the play. Can you see someone who ends their life, who shoots themselves because of the pain, think they end it? And that's why they do it. They end the pain. Suzuki is saying, without suicide, why don't you do it now? Why don't you quit now? Because when he says, why don't you become enlightened now, he's meaning, why don't you quit the game?
It's like quit while you're ahead, kind of.
Yeah, or just quit.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we just stop playing
just stop playing. And every teacher has said that. Kashmir Shaivism accepts instantaneous enlightenment, where you just stop playing.
But why is that so hard to do?
Yeah, like answer that question for yourself. If I were to ask you, like, why is it hard then to just stop? I guess. Yeah, like, I don't really know.
That's
how
a
to
simple
describe
answer for
this.
me because of where I am.
Because you have.
'Cause it makes
But I saw it as a process, and I had to work hard to get there. Once there, it's easy.
But there are answers that we're trying to like get access to that we just can't comprehend at the moment.
Right.
But why?
Because of the play of limitation, becoming limited as a play, becoming limited.
And-
Like when you play with your little brothers and you play hide and seek with them, or you read them fairy tales and you get down there and you delight yourself in playing with those little kids. Aren't you an adult? What are you doing down there with the little kids?
Yeah, and so I guess that would beg the question, like, because my perspective, I desire very badly to just become enlightened before I become enlightened, but obviously not enough. Like, I obviously don't desire that enough because it's not happening. Like,
But the play includes all the games.
the process.
Yeah, and you have played games that go down the path away from enlightenment, away from knowledge, in this hide and seek game. It's fun. I mean, I remember as a kid playing kick the can and the hide and seek that played, right, and throwing rocks at each other, and risking being hit by a clod of dirt, on the farm, that big clod of dirt that's thrown, and oh, how much fun it was to outrun that. And when you got hit, you fall down and you cry, and then you get up again and you play again, and you do it again. Why do you go to that same movie again if it hurt so much?
Why do I love watching The Notebook?
Yeah, right.
I don't
Why
know.
do you love it? You go to it over and over again. It's the play. It's your play. If you can see it as play, you can reach a place then where even your pain can be neutralized along with your pleasure. But it's an easier thing to discipline your pleasure first, so you get a little bit down the road, so that the pain or the suffering that you have can be put into the same category, surrendered.